Guys, my hair looks crazy today, but we're on the mic and it doesn't matter, okay? I'm very excited. This episode is going to be incredible. I have someone very special here who actually is one of my mentors. And we've worked together, and now we're working together for a second time, and we can actually openly talk about it, which is so exciting. But today is going to be a little bit about like founder mentorship, a lot about founder energy though, like female founder, why start a business? What does that even look like? How would you even go about doing it? How do you know that your business is actually going to take off or succeed? A little bit of a trick question there. And how do you do that all while being a woman, a mom, having change, etc.? Amber McMillan is here. She's the CEO, founder, and co-CEO of CLEO Skin Laser. Did I give you the right title?
Co-founder and CEO.
Co-founder and CEO. Oh, I just said it backwards. That's why it sounded funny. I'm like, why did that sound funny? Yeah. But yeah, hi, welcome.
Hi, thanks so much.
You're freaking fab, by the way. Your hair looks good. Your outfit is slay, all black, everything.
Girl. Takes a lot. Just get in the shower in these days.
Quit it. Tell us like a little elevator, like kind of pitch of who you are. Okay. I know who you are. That's the hard part. Is like, I can intro you all day, but I want you to speak to yourself.
Well, I am a mom of two beautiful girls, 10 and 12, which is an amazing part of my life. Recently in my stretch of career, the last couple years, being a co-founder and CEO of a startup. My co-founder is out of New York. I'm here based in Minnesota. And we started this concept a couple years ago, opened up our first two locations in Minnesota, which has been great because it's become home for me. So it's in our backyard. And that was not this past summer, but the summer before. And since then, now we're on location number 4. I've spent my career the last 20 years, not to date myself, but in all health, fitness, wellness, started as a little old personal trainer back in the day, and since have just like been fully immersed in all things health, fitness, and wellness, which is coming through now in a little bit of a different tangent through beauty, but extremely relevant and so many parallels to the fitness world that I've lived in.
It is crazy because you were in fitness before. Everyone is like, wellness is such a huge bubble. And it's cool because everyone that I talk to who's really passionate about wellness, they're like, I really want to work within wellness. And I'm like, you got options, my friend. Like you can literally shift, shuffle, change at any point. And there is a pillar or area that you can work in. Like you going from fitness to beauty is like, that's sick. And you're still an expert in wellness.
Yeah. And I think the parallel is just because we're dealing with skin physiology. We're dealing with evidence-based treatments, which a lot of my career has been in the science and the physiology and proven modalities to be healthy, to lose weight, to, mentally prep yourself for, these journeys that people go on to get healthy. So much of beauty is just like the weight loss industry. A big 90% of it's snake oil and bullshit in a bottle, I call it. I don't know if I can say that on here. You can. Is that a bleep?
No, I say fuck all the time.
That's awesome. We're going to do well today. But there's this amazing opportunity to bring evidence-based treatments to the mainstream at the same time when consumers are really looking for it. The whole wellness bubble is all about finding the true tried and true, which Sid, we've lived in the tried and true world, living in fitness, right? We're all about the science. Well, that's coming to skincare now, and so that's the exciting opportunity that feel like with my co-founder and I, we're really on like the leading edge of being able to bring this to the mainstream in a way that they haven't been able to access what's truly the gold standard in skincare.
No, I completely agree. Also, shout out Brian. We see you, we hear you.
Brian DeRosa.
Brian DeRosa, shout out. He's going to be like, don't shout me out. What is CLEO Skin Laser though? Because you're saying it's innovative. Just like what would be your term for what it is or a sentence, however you want to
consider us an aesthetic dermatology business.
Okay.
So if you think about laser treatments for skin rejuvenation, it's mostly been limited to doctors, dermatologists in a dermatology office or a med spa. But, really not clear on exactly which treatments are, for each type of skin condition. There's 1,000 different lasers out there, so it's confusing and cluttered. But CLEO is really designed to be this aesthetic dermatology business that's bringing laser to the mainstream, making it accessible, affordable.
Yeah.
Also thinking about all the thousands of details to bring an experience to life for a consumer that makes them want to come back to us and stay with us forever. And that is a lot like what happened in boutique fitness. If you think about big box gyms of the day, those were, sell me a contract, hope I don't come, find my way through the gym, not really like the most pleasant experience. Obviously, I spent my career at Lifetime, which, was really meant to be the Disney of fitness, right? And we would want you to come and be there every day and build a community. So when boutique fitness came around, it was taking an element of fitness and then building an amazing experience around it and building such a community, and also the like FOMO around like, I want to, go to Barry's boot camp or, the Orange Theories of the world. It was just this really elegant, experience. And so CLEO's taking a page from that book and really trying to create an experience around a technology that might not be the most, this is not your like pampering spa, but we can make it feel very elegant and make it easy, make it so that you can access these treatments. You can see all of our pricing online. I mean, everything you would think about from start to finish, we've built inside of the experience for CLEO so that you can get these treatments and they're not reserved to you having to go to a dermatology office or being, in Hollywood with celebrities, that obviously get these treatments, but it's like this mystique of
no one knows.
What is it? And obviously they want to, not always disclose the exact treatments they're doing and push their skincare line. But, this is really what's been behind the scenes that we can now make, front and center.
I mean, you're doing something pretty freaking incredible. And even so, I work with CLEO Skin Laser. My agency does social media, do a little paid. But Amber was already my mentor before this. We worked at Lifetime together. And it's really cool to work on brands that are actually a really well thought out brand. And I'm very passionate about brand. I haven't always talked about that on the podcast. I mean, I built brands. I love it. But like, you built a brand that is incredibly differentiated, because it's like, oh my God, when you're looking at a brand, you have to look for something that's unique to it. You're making it affordable. Lasers inherently are expensive. Everybody knows this. I went into a dermatologist's office and they're like, by the way, our skin print treatment, $3,000. And I was like, who the hell has $3,000 for one skin pen out of pocket? That's absurd. That is messed up, honestly. But it's because it's sought after and no one can access it. And now you're creating this access to something that actually does work. It's a fact. It's literally science. It sounds so funny to say. So you're blatantly speaking truth, and you're differentiating, being like, yeah, we don't really care if this isn't the spa exact experience. It's elevated and we're making it affordable because we can. Like it's cool. It's really cool. It's going to create ripple effects. I just feel like we haven't in like the med spa skincare space seen like anything rippling in brand for a while, just from my own perspective of brand, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah. There's really, we went into this strategically, studied the med spa category as it's been studied a lot by, private equity and a lot of companies are looking to get into this space because it's trending, right? There's a lot of opportunity in white space. 90% of the market is single operator owned and operated by doctors usually. So doctors are,
that's right.
They're not as, like, while I do trust a lot of those doctors, they're not thinking brand, they're thinking build their brand, right? So the doctors becomes the brand and that becomes the book of business. It also becomes everything under the umbrella of what that doctor can do, which is almost anything. So the portfolio of services gets very broad. That can work in one location, maybe two, but it's really not scalable. And the challenge with scaling that becomes, one, operational complexity, but two, providers. It's very hard to scale providers that can do everything. And when you are trying to do 20 different treatments, it's hard to master your craft. Again, the whole boutique experience is about doing a few things really, really well. So providers, talent that we bring in, they master their craft. They fire those lasers day in and day out. It's all they do.
They know what the heck they're doing.
They know what they're doing, and they can get really, really good at it, because outside of just facials and skin rejuvenation, we do laser tattoo removal, we do hair removal, all with the same equipment, so that you can get really, really good at it. When we think about, the med spa brands that have scaled, there's a lot to learn there. There's a great opportunity. They're out there, really building hundreds of locations, but there is an opportunity now to really hone this kind of laser facial business or the skin rejuvenation business that not many have been able to really hone and put a brand behind. So I would say we're not willy-nillying it. We've definitely formed a strategy and a plan to really disrupt kind of traditional med spa and become, a brand that can scale and replicate itself over and over again, maintain the quality. And, brand, if you really the measure for if a brand is successful is it desirable? Is it magnetic? Is it something that you want to go back to? And hey, we have our work cut out for it. It's a laser treatment.
Yeah.
It's not us putting you in a robe and some slippers and like giving you some eucalyptus oil and whatnot. I mean, that's obviously something you can get at traditional spa, but to make a laser treatment desirable to come back to comes down to the experience and the results.
Yep.
And when you start seeing those results, and if you can only get one skin pin, by the way, for $3,000 or
That's
some
insane.
ridiculous
Yes,
price, you're
it's
not going to
true.
get the results. The goal for us is we have you come back monthly.
Yeah.
So that is, again, like working out. We need you to change your cellular or skin physiology to come back monthly. So the goal isn't to charge you an extraordinary amount for 1 or 2 treatments, is to create a price, a membership even, where you can come every single month. That's going to get you the best results.
Yeah, exactly. Genuinely what I hear when you're talking to, and why I was like, hell yeah, I'm jumping in on Amber's brand. Are you freaking kidding me? Is because you know what the hell you're talking about. You've studied it and you care. Like, I think we forget about the importance of a business when you actually need to care about what the hell you're doing and what you're providing to people. And you are like, no, it has to be right. It has to give results. And it will, because it does. But like, that is what builds a brand. You have to give a shit, because a lot of people are like, I just want to build a brand or my own personal brand. Well, do you care about giving value to your people? Because I think that's the biggest miss that everyone's like, I want to build a brand. I want to be an influencer.
Well, everyone
are you
wants,
creating value though?
Right. They
like,
want the
are
brand.
you?
Right. They want the brand. They want the money.
Yeah. The money. There you go.
But the
Bingo.
reality is, and this is why, I took a while before I was going to jump out of my corporate role, which by the way, I love. And it's in my DNA to be in fitness and wellness. And it took a while for me to jump out of that. But I knew whatever I did, I still needed to care about, this is a clinical experience. This is clients that we promise results to, that we're taking money from to trust us with their skin.
Yes.
I needed to care a lot about that because it is how I operate. And if a founder doesn't genuinely care about the core input that drives a brand, which is the experience, then it'll just catch up to them down the road. And 100%. I can tell you, after interviewing hundreds of providers now in this space, as we're on to location 4 now, that providers are struggling to find what I call a home, a place. It's a lot like personal training back in the day.
Yes.
You struggle to find a home, a place where you could build a career. Then Lifetime comes along and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, I feel taken care of. I feel like this is where I can master my craft. It's where I can be great. It's where I, feel like I can really like have people that care about me.
Yes.
It's hard in this med spa aesthetic space to find that, because they're all looking to find that place where it's not just the numbers. It's not just about the profitability of the location. And those are all the things obviously that matter. But if you do it right on the inputs and you care about your people and your people care about results and they're trained and thriving, then all the numbers will take care of themselves.
Yeah, they'll be fine. It's kind of the same like note of, if you do what you love, the money will come.
Right.
Like it's the same thing. It's like the basics of when you're trying to figure out what the hell am I going to do with my life, you also live by that, and you will go way further than follow the money, hurry, push the money. You know what I mean? Right. So you're a badass. You know what the hell you're talking about. Every time I talk to Amber, I'm like, yes, she's so freaking cool. Oh. She's like my, I don't know, my golden star that I'm like, oh, Amber, do you notice me? And she did, because I want to go back. Okay. I want to talk about how we know each other, Lifetime, and then we'll go back. I want to go all the way back so people can kind of see your evolution of career. Amber and I met at Lifetime. You were my SVP, right? Yeah. So she was my SVP on my team. I came in. Oh, eager little beaver, huh? Oh God.
Eager Sid. I love that though.
I was so like, I was wearing shoes that were way too big kind of thing, where you're like, no, I want to catch up with the crew. Like, I'm going to grow into these. And I like try to run and like get things done and probably do them really messy and whatever. But Amber was so adamant about like, let's sit down, like, let's figure out where your trajectory is. Like, let's get you like in a good position to actually set up for success. So Amber was the first mentor that I've had that actually took the time to be like, babe, slow the hell down. It's all good. You're literally 24. You need experience to move forward. It's not that you're not good enough. It's you're doing all the right things, but sometimes you can't out hustle the experience that you need to have in order to go forward and like develop or like get the next like layer of career. And so I was like, oh, okay, got it. All right. So, so you just were willing to give me actual real feedback and like real mentorship. And I don't think I had ever had that before. And that's why whatever Amber does, I'm like, yes, I'm like, she's a superstar. Everyone look over her here. But we had fun when we worked together. It was a blast.
We did. And sometimes you have to slow down to speed up.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
I looked at you and I saw myself, and I had people just like that in my career that, didn't let me move forward as fast as I wanted to.
Yeah.
I got held back a little bit. And then as I was able to, look back 10 years later and go, oh, okay. Like I was just out over my skis and
Correct.
I needed to get experience. Now, there are some people that like, they're just going to jump into entrepreneurship and they're going to fall on their face 10 times before they figure that out. Like, I think it does matter. You got to know yourself, but you also do have to have mentors that can be real with you, because at a place like Lifetime too, it's a place where you can be entrepreneurial and learn a lot. So like you were in a spot where I was like, this is where you want to be.
100%.
Spend a couple years, like get, as much experience as you can. Some, that means staying there and moving up, and others that means like I learned those valuable skills that I need. So I don't have to fall on my face maybe 10 times. I'll only fall twice. Because there's going to be failure, but I think experience does matter. It helped me a lot. It was frustrating when I was going through it, but
100%.
I'm so glad I had people that cared enough to hold me back.
Yeah. And you did, which was like really cool. So that's why I always was like, I don't know what this lady's up to over here. She's just killing it. I'm just going to pay attention to her. That's like what all you can figure out from the outside. And you gave me the time of day. You're like, I'm going to help you really quick. Let's figure out what's going on. Or like, let me give you a piece of feedback. You might not want to hear it right now, but like, I'm going to tell you. And now I honestly was able to receive it. I was like, I'm glad you told me so that I can get better.
Yeah.
Like I think what is really a bummer is, the sensitivity of everybody right now, but then the worry of the sensitivity from leader to like mentee down below. And they're like, I can't share that with them. I can't guide them because that they'll feel judged. It's like, or like, there's like that sensitivity, like to give feedback. And I'm like, but if you withhold feedback, the person doesn't have room for growth.
Well, I think there's two things. One is not everybody is you. Yeah. So I recognize, in your career, you start and you're an individual contributor. And then if you're meant for leadership, you find your way into that. And as a leader, as I kind of, finish my career at Lifetime, there are people that you can clearly distinguish on who will be a person that can that wants to grow. You have a growth mindset. You have that fire in you, and it's just really quick to see. So like I am, a bit different with other types of people on the type of feedback. And I think as a leader, you got to distinguish between that. Like they're happy being who they are. And if you're happy in that role, that's all that really matters. But I knew that wasn't you.
Yeah, no.
So that's
interesting. Okay.
That's
like that.
My distinguishing, again, you grow into that. You learn as a leader how to give each person, different bits of what's important to them. And I saw a lot of myself in you. And I was, I think that's as much on you. Yeah. Had you not been the way you were and eager and demonstrating your like full passion, like I pick up on that and go, that's what I want. Like those are the people I want to grow and develop. I hate to say this, but you can't squeeze water from stone, you know?
You can't.
Yeah. And not to say that those are bad people, but they're just not wired that way. So I think you were just someone, and again, I love as a leader now, like those are the people I want to grow and develop and like move into being part of a, stronger team inside of a company, because they're the ones that will make change and develop future leaders.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you did a friggin' badass job.
And now look at you.
Now look at me. I'm a girl over here. No, I'm just kidding. But
living her dream.
Living her dream. But starting to, which is pretty insane.
Which is kudos
But
to you because
thanks.
you did take a big leap.
I did take a very big leap,
I'm
very
proud
big,
of you.
scary leap. And it was intense. But yeah, you only, I think this is what I was going to ask you is like in your brain, how long were you wondering if you should go for your dream? Because I had that same thing in my head that was, it became obsessive. Like, how long did you want to go create your own thing?
I have always loved building.
Yeah.
I love building businesses. I like building teams. As I've grown, like building up people is a real passion of mine.
Mm-hmm.
But so I knew that, and there for many, many years at Lifetime, I was able to be that. There were so many roles I was in that was the first of, and got to really be part. Like, I'm so fortunate that I was in so many great leaders at Lifetime that I was able to build and be creative and feel like they call it intrapreneurial. So I was like an entrepreneur inside. So I always knew that was like a core part of me. And it's why I found myself in all the roles that I ended up being in. But there was a point at Lifetime where I think, it was never bad, but it was just became fairly easy. And a bit of a stagnation for me and
You
kind
love
of
a
coasting a little. And while, the mom side of me with kids and all kinds of other stuff going on goes like, try to shut that off, like, you know what, this isn't the time. You need to just stay in this role. Again, not that I wasn't working, but it just wasn't challenging me in the same way. And I wasn't building as much as I was inside. So that's when it's like an itch you can't scratch, right? Or that you need to scratch.
Yeah,
it just drives you insane. You're like, I gotta figure it out. So yeah, I think it's a bit of that and a bit of luck and a bit of, talking to the right people and putting yourself out there a little bit, some networking. And I instantly, when I started having these types of conversations about new opportunities, I knew it was either going to be like a startup type world because I really wanted to build something from scratch. Like, as crazy as that is, and after everything I've been through in my life, like there were people like, you really sure you want to go to a startup, especially at this age and whatnot? But there's
the age of 25 or what are you talking about?
I wish no, I don't know. Doing this in late 40s, was this a smart idea? I don't know. You have so much more experience, so it's good. Yeah. But you go back to the real grind. But because I love it and I'm passionate about it, it doesn't feel like a grind. It's just, there's a lot to do. But I think the thing about this opportunity that stayed with me is I got really, like, you feel like you come alive. Yeah. I think when it's the right thing, when you just feel this energy and like, I'm alive and I'm excited. And I wasn't waking up dragging myself around, which was starting to happen. Like, I got it. It's a grind. This felt like I'm alive again. Like,
even though it's a grind.
Yeah. I'm so excited. Even just the conversations I was having about this opportunity to build a business. At the time, we didn't know it was even going to be called CLEO. I just like got so excited. It was just like this little fire in me that I felt like when I was in my 20s. So I think if you just got to know yourself, if that's happening inside of you, that's probably means it's a good thing. If you're scared as shit about making the move, it's probably the right move.
Yeah.
Because it cannot feel like it's completely easy. It's probably not the thing. If you're looking for challenge and to grow, it's going to be a scary, like, I got to question this 1,000 times, talk to all these people, then that's probably the right thing.
You told me that a lot too, when I was like, oh God, I think I need to leave, like, only because I think I need to expand. You had been through that recently too. And you're like, it should not feel perfect. Like, if it felt perfect, like, that's a little weird. It's like, why did you wait so long? Right. Or like, what are you doing in something terrible? But I wasn't in something terrible. That's why I was like, I'm confused. Is something wrong with me? Am I crazy? Like, how the hell am I going to do all this? And I feel like you had to go through that all while having every reason not to leave because you, like you said, you have a family, you're a corporate leader, like you had everything freaking going for you, but something was just itching you, like saying you gotta go. So I don't know. I think that's incredibly admirable. I want to tell people, just like, go back. Like, you are saying you started at Lifetime, but like, can you just give us a little like evolution or flow of your career? Because I think that's super interesting.
Yeah. I started at Lifetime actually, out of college. I had this crazy story of being in school. I was at Northeast Missouri State University. It's now called Truman State University. Oh, yeah. I'm from Missouri. I graduated with exercise physiology. I randomly find a job at Lifetime because I wanted to be a strength and conditioning coach.
Okay.
And there was a job posted at Lifetime in Shelby Township, Michigan, randomly for a like trainer that was a CSCS. That was my credentials. And I was like, oh, well, okay, that looks interesting. I got an interview. They actually flew me there for an interview, which is just funny at Lifetime for all the Lifetime
I know that's
peeps
like
out there.
so intense.
Flew
I
me
feel like
from Missouri to Detroit. Like we don't do that.
Yeah,
anymore.
we don't. I was like, what?
But it was grand opening. I go in this facility, and again, I'm 22 years old. And I was blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, how could I not make money here? Like, this is just like so amazing. So I just loaded up my Honda Civic, took my belongings, drove through Detroit, moved to like Utica, Michigan, and started for Lifetime on 100% commission.
That's so scary.
Yeah. It was never scary. The crazy part is I was never scared. I was like, well, it's 100% commission, even better.
You're like,
I'm
great.
going to make so much money.
Watch
like,
me.
It's on, like, I can make as much money as I want is the 100%. Like,
but interesting, the mindset,
yeah,
right?
No, I was like,
of
thank you for
people.
no base pay or hourly pay. Like, this thing is, I can uncork this. So, yeah, I started. And then it just grew into, doing well there and then getting noticed. And then corporate, flew in. They were launching a supplement line. I was the first then to kind of take the supplement line. I became like a regional, brand manager. I then grew into a national manager, moved me to Minnesota, ended up running like all of the retail for a long time.
That's right. Yep.
Inside of Lifetime. Then got involved with, a lot of the functions of building the smoothie shake menu bar with the cafe. Like there's a lot of good, again, building brand new, first of its kind, first
like
roll,
fresh. Yep.
So that was cool. Then took a little hiatus because I got an opportunity to go then be like a more big league retail person at a competitor on the West Coast.
Oh, that's right. You left.
Yes, I left.
At what? So how old are you at this point?
I was 25, 26.
You're only 26?
Something like that.
And you're building all this shit, and then you're like, you get an offer to leave, and you're like, meh, all right, let's go.
Well, here's
you didn't leave for that reason. I'm saying leaving to like continue growing. Like that's impressive.
I left in 2007. So maybe I was like 26, 7. And I only left because in my mind, as I had like mapped out, okay, what am I doing with my career? Now that I'm kind of I stumbled into this a little. Now I'm in like corporate and I'm doing this job and I'm loving like being, all things retail, buying, supplements, building private label formulations. Felt like I got so much experience. Well, I was like, okay, if I fast forward, like I can't stay at Lifetime forever. Like I need to get another round of a different type of experience. I just felt like it was important. And as I got older, I'm like, the longer I stay here, the longer I'm going to be stuck here. So I just happened to get I wasn't looking. I just happened to get this opportunity through a vendor that was working at another, competitor on the West Coast, a very large chain, 420 locations.
Holy.
So I was able to go in there in their buying team, which to be honest, I didn't know shit for shit about real buying, like traditional retail.
Yeah.
I've been doing like Lifetime's version, which wasn't like, it was just different. So I'm in this team with all of the buying team and it was, and I was just me. I moved into like furnished housing for a while. Then I got a condo, had nothing in there. Like I was on an air mattress, didn't have TV, just worked. And I learned so much. And I ended up moving my way up to pretty much run that retail division after 7 years. So I was there 7 years and learned so much. Worked for like really great, they were kind of private equity guys that had come in, was running the business. So I got my MBA as well during that. So that was my like
You're an animal.
business, like I learned everything about business. One, because the leaders I was working for, and two, because I was going to school. So I consider those 7 years like it was my MBA and it was just crazy traditional like business skills from Lifetime was so much of like the world. It felt like a family business, right? And there were a lot of great things about it. But when I went into this new company, it was, wow, like this is how real, like processes run and like a lot of just more sophisticated, I would say, in the sense of the business skills I needed. And that was great. And then got a call after I was on maternity leave with my first child. Obviously, within there, I got married and whatnot and had a baby. Come back.
Just casual little
Just
thing.
casual little stuff happened with it while getting an MBA. But came back to Lifetime to really like start the kind of weight loss, which has morphed several different ways at Lifetime, and like this whole lab testing and metabolic health, nutrition, supplements, so kind of that whole world, and bringing it together into like, you know, a business for Lifetime, which was a great opportunity. So moved back, and that was in 2014.
That's right.
And so I was there about 10 more years until I made the leap, which was great. And I worked, you know, from there, I ended up running fitness and group fitness and classes and building, you know, the small group training portfolio. And that's how obviously you and I got intersected, which was great. Yeah. Then got that itch to kind of go, let's shake things up again, and took the leap out of corporate America to start CLEO.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And you just were like, how do you even start building something like that? I know you met with investors and, you know, like, but like, where do you go when you're like, I have an idea? What would you tell somebody who has an idea?
To be honest with you, Mike, this conversation started with, you know, Brian is a big piece of this. He had been thinking about this category before I was. And so when him and I started having the conversation together, I think we built more of like what this could be, expanded the thinking and the portfolio a little bit. But he really had done a lot of the due diligence of like what's broken in med spa and what's missing, like where's the opportunity. We really believed in these evidence-based treatments like needed to come to the mainstream, and nobody was really doing it well. There's not been great med spas that have scaled that we felt like could really, you know, and again, they're doing a lot of different things that we don't do, injections and, you know, Botox, filler, whatnot, cool sculpting, like things we're not going to touch, which is fine. But there just wasn't a brand that was scaling in this world of laser in a way that we felt was going to kind of scoop up that big, you know, segment of customers that we knew would be ripe for this.
Yeah.
And we knew there was a trend coming. Like there's a trend coming in this wellness space where people want less things put in their body. They want to work more with the more natural look, less filler, more like, how do I work with what I have? Again, not dunking on any of that.
No.
Like to each their own, whatever makes you, you know, happy. But there is just this reality that people are like turning to something more natural, the no makeup look, the opportunity to like also think about skin health and skin physiology and not just something instant to like, you know, change your appearance.
The crazy skincare routines.
And the crazy skincare, which I mean, I have 10 and 12-year-old girls.
Oh my God, they're in it.
The Sephora skincare craziness, right?
It's funny because I feel like, can I just say a hot take for branding? They went from cereal marketing to like kids to like skincare marketing to kids, which is actually absurd because the colors and the fun and the smells, and it's kind of the similar idea as when we were younger, like the marketing of like, you know, all these horrible like snacks and cereals to kids. And now they're like let's get them with the skincare, which is because they're the ones who are the biggest buyers, which is absolutely insane, crazy. Through parents.
And when you do go into Sephora, it's the moms with kids.
It's insane. I'm like, no offense, I hate going in there now.
Yeah,
they're
and
like,
it's
Lady Move. I'm like, excuse you?
Yeah.
Are you 4?
Right.
And why are you trying to get the same concealer as me, lady?
Right.
Ma'am.
Yeah, and I think the branding of like the makeup side of things is just like so attractive. Like that, my kids will know, you know, Patrick Ta, and I mean names I would have not known had they not been. And I was thinking that when I was 10. I mean, that dates me a lot, but like I was like probably playing in the dirt and like on my bike. I was
climbing a tree.
Yeah. So the world is different. And, you know, I think while we don't say everything in a jar and a bottle is crap, like when you distinguish between like, what do you want to have happen with your skin? Are you trying to create more youthful skin that over time you're going to delay the effects of aging, wrinkles and sagginess and pigmentation? Okay, great. There is at-home skincare, preferably medical grade, probably not what you're finding in drugstores or at, your local, Target.
Yeah.
There's medical grade active ingredients that are going to help you with that. But the reality is the biggest gold standard in scientifically validated treatment to help you with really changing your skin physiology is some sort of energy-based treatment, a laser treatment, or a microneedling treatment. Something of that modality
Yes.
is going to move markers in your skin. It will remove pigment.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard to match that with anything that comes in a bottle or a jar. Again, that's not to say you shouldn't be cleansing your skin. You shouldn't be hydrating, and you shouldn't be using some great active ingredients. Absolutely. It's like working out and nutrition. They need to go hand in hand. At-home skincare done right, medical grade skincare with laser treatments, those two things need to happen together. But so many people have been sucked into thinking these 10 steps, all these, different slathering this and that
Snail
on my
mucin,
face.
Classic.
I mean,
Beef tallow.
Yeah.
You name it, you guys. I'm like, oh my God, I love you all, but it's a marketing
and
play.
You know
Holy
why?
shit, my brain.
You know why it doesn't work?
Why?
Because the root of your skin issue is happening in the deep layers of the skin. Okay, this is the epidermis, this outer layer. We can cleanse it, we can moisturize it, and create a few changes with some active ingredients, some vitamin C potentially, hyaluronic acid. But the root of the problem is layers beyond this outer layer. And your outer layer is designed to not let molecules go through. So in order to treat the deep layer of the skin, the molecules have to be so tiny that they would pass through that epidermis and get into the deep layer. It doesn't happen with anything outside of really advanced medical grade skincare. They have technology that can do it to some degree. But the thing that gets in the deep layers of the skin the best is a laser treatment, is a heat-based treatment, is something that is done medically to get in there. So because the molecules of these skincare products, they're too big to even pass through the epidermis.
Like,
they're not
doing, babe? Yeah.
They're not going to treat the major skin concerns out there, which means I want to delay aging. If I start doing these treatments now, and if you and I were twins and I started doing these treatments and you didn't, my skin will be more youthful than yours.
Yeah.
Over time, if you're on a regular cadence, I will bank more collagen and preserve more of my youthful skin longer than you will. Now, there's some genetics at play here, but everybody loses collagen over time. It happens.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. And we can bank collagen by using these treatments and keep you from having that aging effect. So I could go on for days.
No, it's very interesting. And actually hearing you lay it out, I'm like, oh my God, it's cool because you built a business off of logic, knowing this is the facts of the situation. This doesn't exist. And I think I'm going to go build a freaking business. It's incredible because it's smart.
And you know what it's like? It's like when I lived in weight loss, because in weight loss, we were building a business around diet, exercise, yes, some nutrition and supplements. Yeah. And what I had to always counter was all the other shit out there. The pills. I mean, every client had all the questions about all the fads, right? Fad diets. Should I do paleo, keto? What supplements? This pill, ephedra, Metabolife, you name it, right?
Oh my God.
Skincare is the same way. We are building this as no, this is the real deal. This is the
this
clinically
is the
validated scientific treatments.
Which I think people are getting smarter for, which is the perfect time to get into a brand for this because the Andrew Hubermans and all of these people.
Peter Attia.
Yes, Peter Attia. We could name all the people who are making everyone, honestly, we're getting smarter. We're getting smarter. People are like, we're getting dumber. TikTok. No, I'm like, no, babe, we're understanding who's bullshitting us.
No, you're not going to TikTok. You're going to his Huberman and Peter, more people listening to that means things are changing.
Correct.
Because that used to be the quirks out there, the little weirdo biohackers,
everyone's like liar.
That wasn't
liar.
mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evidence-based, scientifically sound anything, modalities with how to lose weight to how to live longer and healthier is becoming mainstream.
Yes,
which is great.
And that's why you literally optimized at the prime time. You could not have done it.
I think now it's all about it's hard though, because again, it's education, right?
Yeah.
We got to spend some time. We got to help. Yeah. We got to help combat the quick fix or my doctor told me to use this, or, whatever it is.
I've gotten so
but
many. Oh my
yeah,
God.
it's if we can keep the education and hold true to our quality and experience and deliver on it every day in and day out, like this will be,
the brand will be the thing. It'll
yeah,
build.
It's growing, and it already is.
When you were like break this down to such a simple level of like, I wanted to build a brand, so I went and did X, Y, Z. Because most people are like, I have this really brilliant idea, or I have a brand and I feel like I need to tweak it. I don't know where to start. They don't know where to go.
Well, first, you're not building a brand until you figure out what problem you're trying to solve.
There you go. Bingo.
So the business opportunity is, what is the problem that you can solve? And hopefully that not many other people can solve. Like, you have some uniqueness to how you can solve it. And that might be, I have unique proprietary, technology or something, or I'm just going to go faster than everybody else, which is, that could be your advantage.
Yeah.
But it's really just looking at, the problem that you think you can solve. And, then it takes some business rigor and putting, some thought behind like how to build a business around that. Then kind of comes the brand part. Like, okay, I'm going to wrap this whole thing up in building the brand. But at the core of it, it's like, what problem are you truly trying to solve?
Yep.
And that can be, again, to each their own on like what category, what industry. Hopefully when you get in, if you're entrepreneurial and you're thinking about this and you're like, I could solve this problem, and like, I think there's a lot of people that could benefit from it, and you can build a business. If that aligns with what you're excited about and it's your passion, like that's the dream, right? Because then your work every day doesn't feel like work, and you're not clocking in for somebody. You're doing this because you're genuinely passionate about solving this problem.
Yeah. And you like, so I understand the brand side. I'm like, oh yeah, my brain is like crystal clear. You're incredible at and into the brand. It's like how you solved a problem, and then you said, okay, let's have conversations. Let's see who can partner on this, because you knew that it was a location. So you needed funds, and you needed and then look where is your target demographic or audience, and then like, where is there a location we could physically do it? Who do we need? What does the business model look like? And then like, you had to do all of those things. And then probably next step was like, okay, let's pick our first location. Let's do this thing. Let's invest. And you kind of have to, there was a word that somebody used. It was like, what's the word when you're like a little crazy? Like, you invest all your money, you got to go for it. Like, you're like, I forget, I'll think of the term. It was a really cool term. I liked it for like, when you invest in yourself, like you have to be willing to invest and be like, yeah, I believe in it enough to put the money behind it and take a freaking risk. Here we go.
Yeah. I think the one thing that is good to know is like what your gaps are. So while you're gung-ho, say, and you have this idea and you're like, I think this could be great, is know where your gaps are. So my co-founder, Brian, and I are completely opposite people. And now, you've met both of us.
Yeah.
We have opposite skill sets too.
Yeah.
And I think if I were to try to do all of this on my own, it definitely, we just wouldn't be as successful. Like, Brian is a core piece of offsetting the things that I'm not good at. So I think it's okay to be honest. Like, and again, maybe these are things as an entrepreneur starting this later in life. Like, I don't have an ego. I'm bold and I will like go after something, but I also am fully confident now to say like, I'm not good at this. There are things I'm just not going to be good at. That's not even my skill set, and I don't have experience in it. So finding someone, if you need that, to complement you, and together, him and I, really kind of round out a full like CEO role, and not to say like that's the way it has to be for everybody, but I do know that you got to really check yourself sometimes, because as much as you have the right idea, you're a visionary, or you have this problem you want to solve, you got to know where your gaps are. Like, if you're not a business person, or you're not going to be the one to be able to raise capital if that's what you need to do, then you've got to partner. And that's uncomfortable sometimes, because we love to be around people that are like us. Yeah. Like, we'd love to like, Sydney and Amber are going to start a business together. We're going to run over top of each other, because we're going to like the same things, want to do the same things. But two, we're not like adding any skill sets. Like, you need to complement yourself. And whether that's a co-founder or that's just like people on your team to round you out, that's a big piece of why I think this has been able to start out so fast and be so successful, is we were able to do a lot of that work and run in parallel and not, be duplicating efforts. Or
what did you have to unlearn from corporate to like founder startup life?
Oh, well, my role at corporate was like a 90% leadership.
Oh yeah. Yes.
So it's about 0% leadership in the beginning.
Yes.
Because there isn't a team. There's no one to lead.
Well, you have people, but like,
when we started though.
Oh, true.
It's all this like incubation work, and it's all the prep work, and it's building SOPs. It's desk work. It's building the point of sale system. I mean, I am an individual contributor in the early days of this, and it's just Brian and I.
Yep.
So that like was. And it's like we talked about, oh, that's going to be radical. I knew it would be. I'm not above doing the work. It's just I hadn't done that type of work for so long. So now I get a share in like leadership, right? I have people and providers, and like there's clients, and so there's business, which is bringing me back, but it's still not like you're still a startup founder. Right. I mean, we're going to be opening 4 locations. We don't have 300 locations. So there's a lot of just wearing a lot of hats, having very little resources to delegate to, and having to figure out how to get everything done that you need to get done and stay a bit sane in all of it.
Your family.
And have your family, yeah.
And also, all the things.
There's also this part of my life where my girls are 10 and 12. And while I don't sacrifice. There's a woman I listen to that I really like respect, and she said this, it stuck with me. She's like, as a female, she's a founder as well of a very successful exit that she did, and she said, if you have to, it's kind of bullshit to say you got to sacrifice your family and your life to be a founder. If you're sacrificing your family or things you love, you're gonna regretting what you're doing. Because it's not a sacrifice, and it's not about balance, because there's really not like balance all the time, but it's about really like being deliberate about the priorities and figuring out how it can all work. Yes, there's times where I do have to travel or I have to be away from my kids or whatever, but we do it like we're in it together.
Right.
And it doesn't feel like a sacrifice. If anything, it's like, this is a role model. I want to show them how you can do it all. Not easy, and we're not perfect.
No,
but
you
shouldn't have to sacrifice the most important things in your life to also have like a business that you passionately care about. And maybe I screw that up down the road, and maybe I'm not perfect because hey, this thing hasn't finished yet. It's not like I'm done, and I've said this is all works. But like at the core of me, I'm never going to sacrifice my family. But I will work my ass off. I will figure it out. I'll do what it takes. But like there's a lot in startup world that is very different than corporate because there's no one to lean on. It's on you.
You have to figure it out.
You got to
make the decision for it.
Yep.
And have confidence in I'm making the right decisions. I'm doing the right things. And
you're not going to make all the right decisions.
That's what I was going to say, is being okay with like, shit, I messed up.
Yep.
Or like we had a bad, experience here, or like this customer had a bad experience because of this SOP wasn't in line. I mean, it's all true with any startup in any form, whether it be a service or like, your
I'm
a service, but like I'm not
agency.
A location.
Yeah.
It's like shit.
You learning
you fix
that
it.
you also learn what you really suck at.
Yeah.
You have to flex muscles you haven't flexed in a while, or you're like, this exposes every weakness, because in corporate, you can kind of like, you really build into your strengths.
Correct.
And in this world, when you're a startup or a founder, you expose every weakness. Oh my God, I suck at organization, or I suck at detailed like management, or the things. And then you
process building.
You can't suck at it.
Yeah,
so you have to figure out how you get better at it. And it doesn't mean you'll be great at everything, but you can't just suck.
Shed a little tear. Figure it out.
Move on.
And then get it freaking together.
Yeah, because there's no one else going to fix it for you.
Yeah, that's the hard part, is like, avoid your problem all you want. It's still going to be there. And people are like, hello.
Yeah.
When are you going to fix this? Or I'm going to go to somewhere else. And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You're like, why did I do this?
It's a whole different world.
It's so worth it at the same time.
It is.
But I will say, like, I don't regret at all being in a corporate environment for the few positions that I had. I don't regret that one bit. I think it's so much.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's nothing bad about it.
No, nothing bad about it. I loved the people that I worked with. There's so many fun people that I got to work with. There's so many fun projects I got to work on. And transparently, like, there's no risk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little like extreme, but like there wasn't really a risk. Like you would test things, try it. see if it works, have research behind it, and then it would work. And little mistakes would happen. And sometimes it would fall on you and you'd quick apologize. And sometimes it wasn't your fault, or you didn't even have to do that thing.
Yep.
The thing about being a founder is it is all your risk and responsibility. And if you cannot handle like making mistakes and then being like, yep, I apologize, that was a little messy, or I apologize for this, and moving on, and you're going to get caught up in the emotion of it, oh boy, you're in for a rude awakening, because it is.
Or just
it's a little cray-cray out here.
The fear of embarking on the absolute unknown.
Yes.
I remember
you have no idea.
opening our first location.
Oh my God.
And just going, I have no idea.
Yeah, like how do we do this?
And even, okay, I put everything into the point of sale, and but I've never run the thing before. Like, I got to take a payment for the first time, plus figure out how we're going to have enough customers, and is it going to work? Like, you can either live in fear, because that was a scary time of just like not, I just, and it was my first time doing this, so living in a space like where it's the first of everything.
Yeah.
But I just remember walking into that studio every day and just being so thrilled. Mm-hmm. So it's like, again, knowing yourself. If you're just excited but scared as shit, that's the like good combo.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
I just was watching a video before this, and it was said that the like logic center of your brain and the like safety center of your brain can't work. They can't coincide with each other. So like the something's new, it's going to identify it as scared, whether it's good for you or bad for you. And you have to just like calm yourself, and you can't learn without just going for it. So it's like they work at the same time. So if your scared one is too high and you don't calm yourself down, you'll stay in your safe space, but your brain can't learn without going into something new or air quotes scary. It's just identifying it as scary because it's new and it's trying to air quotes protect you. So I just thought that was really interesting. I don't know. I'm like, oh my God, it's that's why everything's scary.
Yes.
That's why even good things are scary. Mm-hmm. Why do you get scared on like a ride? Why do you get scared when you're about to go do like a crazy speech and then you're like, oh my God, that was actually incredible. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I love it. I've loved learning about all these things. I've loved learning from you. I think you're incredible. You're a badass. You know what I'm saying? Brian's probably listening to this and being like, oh my God, you let the two nuts on the microphone.
He's coming on here. We're going to make him do
it. Oh
Lord.
We're going to make him do a little call in. Hi, it's Brian. He's just very serious. So for someone listening, they've been scared to start. They've been scared to go for something different. They don't know if they've got it, cut out for them to be a founder or go for something big. What would you say to them?
Talk about it with someone that you aspire to be.
Bingo.
So find the person that if you're looking at again, these are local people. I'm not saying like some celebrity, but like
go talk to Taylor Swift and see what she thinks.
Yeah. Go ask Kim Kardashian how she made billions. But no, find someone you trust, but you also aspire to be, even if you don't know them. Like I know for people like me, when they're looking for mentorship, like we love doing that. Mm-hmm. Like have the conversation, at least mostly just start talking about it.
Right.
Get your ideas out. Find the people that will give you feedback. Get the coffee sessions. Like once you talk about it enough, give yourself hopefully 3 to 5 people that have given you feedback. And out of that, it's going to shape your thinking. Either shape you into going like, okay, what I was feeling is right and I'm on the right track, or, oh shit, I'm so glad I talked to these people because that is not like what I want to be doing. Right. So I think really leveraging people around you to talk it out, get perspective. Don't keep everything in your head and then go make a decision.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
One of my friends, my mentor is Callan also, who is, she's coming in soon actually to CLEO.
I saw that.
She was like, stop taking advice from people that you don't want their advice and like who haven't done it. Right. And you're like, oh shit. Like, because we're like, oh my, and this is with all
family
due respect.
Members. They want to tell you,
so like,
they want to protect you.
You are in an incredible position.
Yeah. Why would you ever?
And you're like, but have they built a multi-million-dollar company? And it's not to say what they've done is not successful or incredible, because remember, we're all different. We have different things. Some people want to be a piece in the bigger puzzle. Some people want to create the puzzle. It's just the difference of people. However, if you're wanting advice about starting something or doing something maybe outside the box, and you need to find someone that started something or done something outside the box, and they will tell you, oh, from my experience, this is X, Y, and
or
Z. This
here's
is what
how
I
to think about it, and give you some, again, things to work through.
Right.
As I was thinking about my opportunity, and my family's amazing, and they would say, whatever makes you happy. But at the same time, I had went through a divorce. There are so many reasons why I should not live, I should not sit and like think that I should go do a startup.
Right.
Like that is not the lifestyle. Like that is so much risk. So had I really, I didn't really consult with my family, I would say. Like I think it was just I know they're going to think I am freaking crazy and I shouldn't do it. So I just made that decision myself. And yeah, when you think back and I look at it, it is crazy at that time in my life.
Sure.
And after all I'd been through, to jump ship from a good corporate job. But it was also within me, sometimes it does come down to yourself. After you've done your homework, then it comes down to you, your gut instinct. And I was like, this is it. I know it is. No one can tell you that. You have to know that.
Yeah, exactly. Go for it if you feel like you can go for it, but you got to talk to yourself first. Yeah, it is. You had every reason not to, but you did, and I'm proud of you that you did. I think the biggest thing that I've learned from watching people like you and watching my friends who are also my mentors and now watching what I'm starting to do, even though I don't really know what the hell I'm doing, even though I know, it's like, what you're doing, but you don't know the business side. You're like, right. What is this? You can do whatever the hell you want to do in your lifetime. So get on it. That's what I have to say. Yeah. It's you can literally do whatever the hell you want to do. You put your mind to it, you can do it.
Yep.
I promise.
Yep.
I promise. We're living proof of that.
It is. It's
pretty freaking insane.
I think Ed Milet says you're one decision away from changing your life. I love that.
I love Ed Milet.
It is so much, could be just one decision. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Sometimes even if it doesn't work out, I always say, what's the worst thing that could happen? Even if to start over, and I will never regret learning, because it leads you to the next thing. Mm-hmm. And what I get and what I get to experience and the growth I'm going to get, that's what I was always after, right? I want to grow. I want to be stretched. So there's no downside. I mean, yeah, it might mean starting something different or doing it differently than I planned, but you got to go, what's the worst case? And if there really, comes down to what you're comfortable with.
Kick ass, take names. That's what you've been doing.
Yep.
You've been busy. Busy little bee.
Busy.
Where are you going next? Really quick. Is the plan to keep expanding?
Yes.
Is the plan to continue? Okay.
Yes. Uh-huh. So with our kind of first round of capital that we raised, we'll be going into about 10 locations. Obviously started in Minnesota, opened in Michigan, opening in actually Missouri.
Yep. I was wondering if I could say it.
Yeah.
Yep.
St. Louis area. And then we've got several planned in Atlanta. And so we'll get through kind of those first 8 to 10. And then I think then we'll be in a place where we can go for kind of next round, and that'll get us to where we need to go. But super excited. I mean, obviously starting every market over at zero is a whole daunting challenge, but it's working. We use the locations here as proof of concept. We have so much exciting opportunity ahead of us. Now it's just and we're going to round out the team, build up the team, and be able to make sure we have everything we need to scale.
Hell yeah. No, you're doing it. I'm really, really freaking proud of you. And I've loved watching it and being a part of it. It's been
I'm so excited you're a part of it.
I'm excited to be in the beginning, so that I'm little hiccups, things that we need to create. And I'm understanding, and I'm in the brand. So now I can speak for the brand really, really well. Yeah. And I love it.
Well, I get to see you mastering your craft.
Yeah.
Now. I get to really see it in this whole unique way where it's my brand, our brand, and watching you go to work on it. Yeah. And that's pretty freaking cool.
Well, thanks for giving me opportunity.
Yeah,
too,
absolutely.
because it's
don't
the people
screw
like
it
this.
Up, okay?
I'm just please kidding. Come on. I'm in my mastery. I know I'm not going to screw it up.
You're not.
Okay, so they want to find CLEO Skin Laser. They go to CLEOSkinLaser.com or on the Instagram. Yeah. We're chit-chatting on the Instagram. We're getting the TikTok going.
Sid K is building up that Instagram.
Trying, dude.
It's a place to be.
Dude. We've got more coming now that we're we got a little experience under our belt. Now we can be oh, this is what we want to do.
Right.
Every brand is different. Every voice is different. So thank you for coming on. Thanks for having this conversation. You. Brian would be proud.
Yay,
Brian, we're talking right to you, buddy. What else do I have for you guys? Yeah, go in, get an experience. It's $80 for your first laser facial. If you're in Minnesota, you guys, Amber was one of my speakers at my original April event, the Head in the Clouds event. So if you recognize the business, that's who is talking right now.
Yeah. So awesome to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. And you're in the wealthy circle too.
Yes.
Yes. So get in there. It's free. Crew, as always, I love chit-chatting with you. I feel like you've been on a journey with me lately, but like this journey is the right one. And that's all I have to say about that is I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. I know what I care about and what I want to talk about. So thank you for being a part of that journey too, Amber. And I need to go get my laser facial now.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.